I'm at Dollar Tree. Let's go see what they've got. You've all been telling me go. I've had to stay in the house for 3 weeks in case there was a fire, even a small one. They would lock me out. I wouldn't be able to drive up, so I had to stay home. But now I'm at the Dollar Tree, and now we're going to look around and see what garden stuff they've got. Let's go do that right now. Now get yourself a coffee, sit back, a tea, a water, whatever you want, because we're going to go over everything at the Dollar Tree for gardening. It's not just the garden department. Their garden department is not that big to me. I think it was bigger last year, but you know, that's my opinion. And every Dollar Tree is different. Now look at this. They've got a lot of stuff there. Kids' shovels. It's really for the beach, but you can use it. Look at all the seeds, the containers, and everything. Now these are packages of different flowers. They're $1.25 a package. Here's some microgreens. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. So you can pick out the wildflowers, and it's summer for shade and sun in different areas. This is suet for your birds. I'll tell you, we don't have a lot of birds that eat that here, but you know, if you've got birds in your yard that will eat it, go ahead and buy it. I make mine with the pine cone. You've probably seen my video. Now this, I did buy one, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't planted it yet. I'm not really thrilled with the mix. I mean, it's going to be fine. Greens is greens. It will give you a lot of nutrients to grow it. But I could have picked out 4 different plant seeds. Now here's my thought. You can buy the microgreens. You get 4 grams, $4.25. That's a good price. And as you can see here, it's mainly mustard and kohlrabi that's in here. And there might be a little bit of kale. That's the seed variety in that packet, which is a really good buy. I mean, 4 ounces for $1.25. But I kind of would like to make my own mix up. Not just because of the greens being different or better, but if I get my own mix, then I can actually take some of the seedlings, move them out in the garden as the weather gets good, unless it's good already, and then you can grow your own Swiss chard. It grows a ton of seeds if you let it go to seed. The radishes, no big deal. You can just eat them as they are, but you can move kale out there, you can move broccoli out there, and you'll have your vegetable garden going already, just because you're making a nice green seed mix to eat, microgreens for yourself in the house. It's just a thought. It's another option. So 4 seed packages would cost you $1.25. You're not going to get the full 4 grams, but you're going to get a lot for your money. Plus extra plants to plant in the garden to have all season, or 2 seasons. I could have bought a broccoli, a cabbage, some lettuce. Well, you got the idea instead of buying the package. Now this is a chain. This is for hanging things, $1.25. If you can find these baskets, and I'll show this again a few times because we're going to wander about around the store over and over, and there's different things tucked in different areas. This basket that you can put a bowl in comes with the chain. So you get the basket and the chain for $1.25. So this time I'm not going to buy a single chain. I bought some last year. I still have a couple left, but right now I'd rather get the basket with the chain. Now they've got flags. Like I said, you're going to have to look around. They have a lot of stuff I have found out on, end caps. And they got different flags here. They're okay. And then they have different signs you can put in the garden. Now keep in mind, most of this stuff you're going to buy, if it's not metal, if they're kind of a cardboard, they're only going to last 1 season. But that's all right too. And even these, if they get wet, those stones, they'll crumble away. Now this is metal, so this will last. You can always repaint it. But, this is just decor for your garden. This is not for growing. It's to make things look pretty. They're really cute. I'm not in the market personally right now for that, but it's good to know. Maybe in the spring I'll pick a couple up. Now, knee pads. Oh, we can use that in the garden for $1.25. Let me tell you something. They're really nice, and you're going to probably find other things you can use that for as well. But there they are, $1.25, different colors. And definitely, if you're getting on your knees, I am not, definitely pick some up. I do a lot in totes, so they're above the ground, but they're nice. Now they've got a lot of gloves and hummingbird feeders, but I think we're going to come back to the hummingbird feeders. Right now I am going to get myself some gloves. I like it where it's rubber on the palm and cloth that's really stretchy on the top. I don't like the cotton ones, and they're nice. You can throw them in the washing machine and wash them, but eventually they shrink. So there's certain ones I like. And then you got to pick out what you like for yourself. Statues, more gloves, different things they have around, more different hangers for flags and hummingbird feeders. You can't use the long ones for hummingbird feeders. They dip too far. So you'd have to get the shorter ones. And we'll go more into that in a few minutes as well. Oh, look at all the cute figurines. Now, you can make a really cute fairy garden or a little gnome garden with those, and you can even make a fountain setup, you know, with a waterfall or something, using all that. But remember, each package is $1.25, so it's going to add up as you buy them. So carefully go through them and buy the ones that you want, that you think, you know, you can use for whatever your project's going to be. I will tell you, they do sell out of those quickly, and they don't seem to get them back. Again, these gnomes and these things, you can put them in the garden. Don't let them get too wet at the base, because they will crumble away into the ground. So kind of have them stand on maybe a cement slab or something. Kind of keep them off the ground so they're not wicking up water into them. This is just my personal thing I have found out. Okay, sprinklers. But I just want you to see what they've got, because they've got a lot of cute stuff. I will admit they're really cute. Those hang on the pots. The frog, the gnome, the ladybug, the turtle on the top, those hang on the side. So that you don't have to worry about. They're going to be fine. I think those are more of a resin. They've got moss, a lot of metal decor that you can hang around. They last for years. I've had a lot of stuff for years. Now, flower pots are really a very good buy. 3 for $1.25. Those are really good for succulents or starting seeds or maybe small herbs or propagating. That's really good. But they've got a lot of different ones. You can get really tiny ones, a 12-pack for $1.25. Not bad. Pretty good. Then they've got the hanging ones. You can hang that on if you've got chain link or a pole. They come in different colors. So those are nice. That's a cute pot too to the right. Looks kind of like a wooden pot, like a little barrel. Very nice. I really like the baskets. But again, we're going to get into that. Here's a hanging one that's metal. Lightweight. You can probably bend the metal a little bit too to fit the pole that you're going to hang it on. But that is nice. There's no hole in that, so you may want to make a hole. I'll think about that and hang it in my basket. And then they've got more stuff here. They've got soil. This is potting mix. $5 if you're only needing a small bag. You can start your seeds in that. You know, that would be fine. And these, of course, is for planting strawberries. And they stack. And so that's cheap, too, if you like doing that. And I do have a strawberry tower. You saw me make it, and I'm still using it for many years. And they got more seeds up here. Different herbs, rocket, parsley, basil. Now, I'm going to tell you something on these pots. They don't come apart when you put them in the ground. They're not biodegradable. At least by the time they degrade, your plant is going to be on the way out. So if you're going to plant in there, tear the pot apart before you plant them in the ground, because it will restrict the roots 90% of the time and your plants won't grow. It also will depend on the plant. And then they've got more pots on the top, and this basket's stuck, so we're going to have to get to it. But this is a really good buy, because you can make a plant hanger for tomatoes or herbs or with flowers, whatever you want, for $1.25, and you're not buying just the chain. You're getting the whole thing. And if you ended up not wanting to use the basket, you still have the chain. You have the basket for another time. Then they've got plastic fencing, you know, just to kind of zhuzh up your garden. It looks cute. Different hoses. I don't usually get those. They tend to leak, but you know, try them, see what you think. Then they've got some hand tools. Oh, I've showed you what to do with the spring inside. Tie a long piece of yarn to it, because the spring falls out and then you can find it later. But they're good in a pinch for that price. Otherwise, you want to get a better one. Shovels, all kinds of stuff for the garden. They really do have a lot, but there's some stuff I need and some stuff I won't buy from there. Now, seeds is a good deal. I have never had an issue with their seeds. They grow for me really well. We'll talk about a few things that you do want to be aware of. You get 4 packages for $1.25. That is dirt cheap. Now, go through them carefully, because they have a lot of seeds on these racks. And I will tell you, a lot of them are mixed up. They come in probably pretty straightforward, but when people go through them, they stick them all over. So if you're looking for something special, definitely go through each and every cubby hole looking for them, because sometimes you can only find the one pack you want tucked in between something else. There's Roma tomatoes. It's kind of a medium tomato. I do believe those are determinate, but read the package. Now, this is what I want you to see. I don't know where you can go to get vegetable seeds for 31 cents that are really this good. Cucumbers, munchies, 31 cents.
you can't even get them cheaper like at Walmart. They used to have 50-cent seeds. I don't even think they have those anymore. So this is a really good buy. And I always buy a lot, so I have more than I need because I don't want to go back looking for them. Now, here's carrots. Now, this is a short variety. So definitely go through because they get in a bunch of different varieties. Some are really long, some are short. If you're going to grow in a dish pan, you want a short variety. Spinach, then you got your summer squash, which is a yellow squash. They don't get really big unless you leave them on too long. You know, rainbow Swiss chard is really nice. It's amazing how many different varieties of seeds they have here. I mean, that's a lot of seeds here. I love walking through. I love taking you guys with me to see. Then they've got different flowers. And see, the flowers got mixed up with the vegetables. All different types of green beans, too. So definitely look through. Look at the different peppers they've got. And turnips. What I didn't find yet was beets. I don't know if they've got beets or if somebody bought them up. Dill is good. Dill is a really nice thing to grow. I love growing dill. It smells good, and some of the butterflies lay their eggs on there. But that's okay. They have broccoli. Cabbage is something I want to get quite a few. Even though there's a lot of seeds in the cabbage, I want to get the cabbage. And I don't grow cantaloupe. Lettuce. This is kind of like a romaine lettuce. I've got my own growing in the garden, so I don't want to mix it up. Then they've got different peppers. Let's see, I showed you the broccoli, which is really good to grow. And that is perfect to grow when it's still cold. You can start them in the house and you can get them sitting for a long time until you're ready to put them out. They don't seem to mind. Different cucumbers, cauliflower. You know, I haven't tackled cauliflower. We're going to do that this year. I'm going to tool it up, and I would not be able to have a garden without tulle, which is Tulle. I've always got a link in my description for it because I found the best price. Eggplant. I like growing eggplant. I like the big eggplant. So always, if you're having a problem with insects, please check it out because it's like less than $10 for 40 yards, 54 inches wide. And the company told me they'd keep the price for a while. Onions. Those look like green onions. And so check it out if you need any. I buy all my tulle on eBay. Let's see, more peppers, sweet peppers. That's not bad. Bell peppers. I'm growing little ones right now, smaller mini bells, but we'll see. I'll decide on that. Now, sugar baby watermelons is good to buy. I kept my own seeds, and I will tell you, none of my own seeds that I kept, and that was the only watermelon I grew any watermelon. So for now on, I'm going to buy sugar baby watermelon. I don't know if it's an F1, which means it's been cross-pollinated, and when you get the plant, and you save the seeds aren't right. I'm not sure on that. I know zucchini is that way. Most of them are F1 now. They're not GMO'd or anything, but there are F1, which means they cross-pollinated them because they'll taste better, grow better, whatever. But the problem is it will not grow true. And then these are the flowers. Again, go through the flowers, see vegetable plants get mixed in. I'm growing cosmos from the seeds from last year. I've got some pink cosmos that just came up. They got different wildflowers. I haven't grown snapdragons in a while. Sunflowers, I've got sunflowers growing. I grow those. A lot of times the birds plant them. Morning glory, I don't want to plant that. That will get out of hand here like a weed. Zinnias, once you start growing them, you can save your own seeds. And those will grow wonderful, all different colors. So they've got great seeds. Look at that. Now, they're not marked organic. Don't worry about that. Just get a non-GMO'd plant and you should be fine. I mean, think about it. This is the small cherry tomato. So that's the smallest variety you can get. And those will be indeterminate. So those will continue to grow all year or until they freeze out. So they'll just keep growing and growing. Because if they're determinate, then the plant tries to grow all the fruit at the same time, which would be good if you're canning. But if you're not canning, then that's not going to work for you. You want to have tomatoes constantly coming, and growing. Now, the beefsteak, it's really nice to grow, but I will tell you, I do not grow those anymore. I'm staying away from large tomatoes because what happens is your plant's going to grow, if you're lucky, 5 or 6 tomatoes. And while you're waiting for them, something's going to get them usually just before you pick them. So I prefer to get nice, good-sized cherry tomatoes. There they are. I will tell you. I end up going back and getting more. I'm just going to keep getting more until I'm ready to go because you can't find seeds at 31 cents. But those are really nice. So they've got those, and then they've got the aromas. And notice the sign. behind here says non-GMO. Now what you want to look at is days of maturity. So the small ones, they say will be ready in 70, 75 days. The other one said like 85 days. I'll tell you something, pretty much when the weather is right, cherry tomatoes take off and you have them right away. A lot sooner than that. So they've got lettuce, they've got chives. I'm going to get some chives. Now the lettuce I'm going to get there, that curly leaf lettuce, I'm not going to let it go to seed because I like the lettuce I grow wild. Now here's 2 more carrots they've got. One is like 8 inches and one is 6. I'm going to stick with the shorter ones. This way I can plant them in containers and not have to worry about anything. And then they've got the bell peppers. It's a mix. The green, I don't know what the green would be because the green's going to turn either orange, yellow, or red, but they show green. Then they've got hot peppers. Remember, on most of these peppers, you can use them green or when, before they're ripe or when they're ripe, depending on what your dishes you're making or how you want to eat them or what you want to add into your salad. Now, radishes are quick. When you plant those, you have radishes to eat in less than a month. So 25 days, that's about right. This is all a guide. It can be different, a little more or a little less. And cucumbers, this one says 65 days. So that's the thing you kind of want to look at to see how long your gardening season is. We have it much longer here in Southern California. And dill, I don't know why it says 65 to 70, because you can use it at any time. That must be when the plant is mature. You can use it once it starts growing. If you're desperate, just pick it. Keep growing them and cut them down as you need them. Green beans are always good to plant and really nice to plant. So they have different varieties. So read the back of the package, how they grow, how they're going to grow in your area, and then pick out the variety you want, or try a bunch of varieties and put a plant tag on them so you will know what's growing. So next year you'll remember, oh, those grew really good. Now gloves, again, you're going to find them stacked all over. And that's a really good price because it's going to last you all growing season. More radishes, and I have grown both in the same tray, and that's really cool. Now I want you to understand that these packages, even though they say they're weighed and there's a certain amount of ounces in each one, that a lot of times some are fuller than others. It's harder to tell on the tiny seeds, like a lot of the brassicas are super tiny, but it's easier to tell how many seeds there are or get an idea on the larger seeds, like the corn or the squash or the watermelon. So kind of look at them, make sure they didn't fall on the floor and get run over by a shopping cart. Because sometimes you could end up getting home and finding out that maybe the package got wet or maybe it got smashed and the seeds are broke. So feel them. Just kind of give it a shake that they're nice and loose. And then kind of with your thumb or your fingers, feel them and see if they feel like there's quite a few in there. You'll get an idea of what you feel in there. Because sometimes I have gotten home and I've been really surprised. So give it a shake because I've opened them up and one package had like 3 seeds in there and they're not that big even though they're going by weight. So I think there's mistakes. Where another one may have 10, 15 seeds in there. So you want to kind of get an idea. But remember, if you get one plant out of that, you've made your money because a plant now can cost you anywhere from $5 to $8 for one vegetable plant. Now, when I'm buying garden gloves, I like to feel that they're flexible and soft. So when I've got them on my hand, it's not going to be really stiff. I also like the ones that have a rubber coating on the palm because you're handling a lot of wet stuff and, and soil. And it just, to me, it's more comfortable than those little dots. But you've got to get what works for you. So that's the ones I get. I get the ones with the rubber coating on the palm and just kind of a cotton or whatever fabric on the top. They're stretchy and they're comfortable to use. Now this section is a section that costs more, usually between $3 and $5, and they're usually well marked, so you'll know how much they are. They have a lot of nice stuff, a lot of nice decor for the garden. There's a bird bath. That's really cute, $5. It's very shallow, but the birds would love that. Just kind of spritz it every day and fill it up. And then look at all the flower pots. These are large, heavier plastic. Look at that birdhouse. They've got kids' toys there. Well, not toys. They're garden tools. We got to teach them the garden too. And look at the watering can. That's a nice big one, $5. Now, I don't usually get real big ones because when you fill them, they get heavy. But they're still nice to have. A lot of you like that. I like the way it will spray on the top and go up and then down on your seedlings, so it's not really hard on your plants. That's actually the perfect way to water it. Good price. And they last for a year or two. Don't leave them out in the sun. Kind of tuck them away in the shaded area. And if you keep them with water full in there, they last longer, I have found out. So remember, for your flower pots and your plastic totes, a lot of plastic lasts longer when it's damp. So if it's got soil in it, it will last longer. Oh, look, more garden tools. These are a little bit more money. But it's whatever you need for your garden, and just more lawn items and more sprinklers, different sprinklers. I don't use sprinklers. I water by hand, but of course you can. You do your garden the way you want, and then you'll garden for life. Don't go what everybody tells you. And then look at all the beautiful solar lights. I love solar lights. I'm crazy about solar. So kind of look through, and they may change it up and get different things as spring comes, because they get different items in sometimes. These pots are nice, but with the tiny base on the bottom, I always worry if the dog walks into them, it will rock and tip over. I like the base really the same size as the top. Now, the totes, when I went that day, they didn't have the big ones. I like the ones that are 10 gallon because the 5 gallon and the 10 gallon are the same price. But you can grow in the 5 gallon just as well as the 10, but you can grow zucchini in the 10 gallon ones. The normal ones I get are the 18 gallons for around the yard or even bigger. But this is still nice. But they told me that somebody came in and bought them all. They get like a case of 24, and they were probably going to garden. Maybe they watch my videos, but they'll get more in. Just ask. Now, I also go into the automotive section, and I need some rope. Now, I've been hanging hummingbird feeders by stringing rope around, but I've got another project to do with gardening with rope, and we'll get to that later as the season comes in. But that is my personal thing. Look at all the zip ties. There's a lot of things we can look in a lot of different departments, so look around and see what you can use. Now, this is their plastic container department. And they have all different sizes and shapes of plastic containers. Now, I will tell you, these thin, shiny ones don't last that long. They look good. You can grow lettuce and all kinds of things in them for about a year. And then usually by next year, if you've got a lot of harsh sun, they'll start to crack. Now, this particular basket, because of the weave, I guess, and the type of plastic it is, I've had those last for about 2-3 years. So kind of keep that in mind. But if you keep soil in it and damp, they go a long time. Now, here's toothbrushes. I wash my hummingbird feeders with toothbrushes, but I also use this for my garden. Now, how in the world would you use a toothbrush for your garden? Well, I wash my ginger and turmeric with a designated toothbrush. Don't use your toothbrush. You designate one to wash your vegetables, and it works perfect. Keep it on the sink, and then you can wash all the vegetables you need. But there's a lot of stuff in a lot of different departments that we can use for the garden. So this works out perfect. You get 4 toothbrushes for $1.25. You don't need to get an expensive one. And then you wash what you need, your different fruits and vegetables, and do your hummingbird feeders too. Now, in the kitchen department, you're going to see all kinds of stuff we're going to use. Tons of stuff everywhere. This is fantastic. This plastic, though it's shiny, it is not thin, it is heavy, and you can grow in there. This bowl having a handle is perfect for making a small herb garden. You can bring it in, use the herbs you want, and put it outside. And this plastic is really good. In other words, it really holds up. You can even hang them in those baskets if you want, whether you're going to use it for a fountain, and we can get into that this spring, or you can grow plants in there. But there's a lot of things we can do with it. I really do like these plastic containers. And these are 5s, perfect to use. They're food safe. They come in white as well. Isn't that not nice? So it's whatever, you want to use in your garden, whether you like it in red or white. I wonder why they don't have gray. I haven't seen that yet, gray or black. That would be a nice color for the garden too. But I think they're great. Remember, you will have to make drain holes, and you get a soldering iron like I use for that if you want. Or you could drill it, up to you. I like the way the plastic holds up. Unlike those waste paper baskets that are really thin. Remember, if you go with the clear, they can break. Now, this is a little bit thinner, the plastic, and that will work too. You can grow lettuce and herbs and different vegetables in it. Too small for zucchini, but you can get a lot of other things in there. You could probably even grow peppers in there. Now, these are their dish pans, and they're on the thin side, but I will tell you, I've been using them for years, and I have not had one crack yet, so it's a really good plastic. that is perfect. I grow lettuce in there, but you can grow a lot of different things in there, even those really short carrots if you want. So keep that in mind. Now be sure to roam around because they have a department where they have cups and bowls, and they get in some really cool bowls. That I actually make popcorn in, pour my popcorn in there. I love these bowls. I have yet to have one break. They're thick and they're also a little flexible, so you can grow in them. You can use them for the kitchen. You can use them for whatever you want. They're one of the greatest bowls I have seen them get in. And guess what? Not only could you grow in them, but you can make a bird bath. You go, what? How would you make a bird bath out of that? Look at that. It's flexible but strong. So remember, don't leave it out in the sun, but have soil in it or water, and you can really get a lot going in there and have it for years. But it has worked perfect for making a bird bath. I can get the bowl out there, put a smaller bowl inside, set up a bird fountain. I can put plants in that bowl. And it's just so cute in the garden. They get in different colors. You'll have to watch and see what they get in. But lately they've been getting in that blue color that I showed you. They get in one on the bottom, see the teal, and then they've been getting in the gray. They are hard to find because sometimes they go in there and they don't have them, and then all of a sudden they got them. But look at this. They fit in the basket perfect. So you can grow all kinds of plants in there. Hang them up. Is that not beautiful? Perfect fit, perfect bowl. I think I need more. Then, of course, as you're wandering around, you're going to find more of those dish pans. They're in another department where they have their clear plastic. Clear plastic is fine to grow in, but I will tell you, they break very quickly. So I stay away from that. But pitchers or anything like that, you know how I compost in place in my plants, and they get plant food in those pitchers. So those are perfect because you're going to bury the pitcher. You'll have to go back and watch the video on that. These $1.25 pitchers are absolutely perfect. You're composting in them and you're making plant fertilizer all year for your plants. And I don't buy plant fertilizer. I make my own like nature. So look around the store, see what they've got. There might be something you want to use either for a bird fountain or use to grow in or just use for whatever in your household. Now these are perfect. The clear shower curtains. I use that all over the garden. I have saved plants in the winter by using tomato stakes or irrigation tubing and then attaching the clear shower curtains to it, and the plants have made it throughout the cold winter. You can kind of build a greenhouse with that. You could put it on your dog kennel as well, and they hold up for a long time. I usually end up wrapping them up and using them the following year. Now, you can't get any cheaper than yarn to stick up your tomatoes. This has been wonderful. For $1.25, you're going to get a whole ball of yarn. They're usually nylon or polyester, which means it's going to stay on until you cut it off and throw it out in the trash. If you use cotton, it will dissolve in your garden, and sometimes it will break apart before you're done. And I love the green that they get in. Look for them because, as you can see, they're hard to get. I think I've told so many people that everybody runs in there and gets the green color for the garden. But black is perfect too. So keep in mind, this is one of your cheaper ways to stake up things in the garden. I even tie up a lot of my tree collards with it, and they last for a long time, but perfect for tomatoes. I love it. And then as you walk around, you'll see different things. Look how cute, they're solar. You could stick it outside, and when you're going out at night, you forget they're there and you got two eyes glaring at you, you'll jump back and go, oh, never mind, that's my solar animal out there. No, they're really cute. And look, a little birdhouse, and it's metal. That will last for years. Is that not cute? They got in a lot of cute things. It's not $1.25. It's a little bit more, but they could be worth it. Again, you can plant a lot of stuff in here, but see how shiny it is and thin? You're going to get probably one growing season out of it, and then it probably will start to crack, and you'll have to toss it out. Now, this is good if you're in doubt on what something costs. They've got scanners now around, so you can check your prices, but they're pretty clear on their prices. If it's more than $1.25, they're generally marked, but it's nice to have those. Now these trays, they're pencil trays. They're in the kids department, the school department. I use these for bird feeders. I make some holes in them, so if it rains, the water will go out, but the seed will stay in. I get these wire baskets from Dollar Tree, put two together, and now the doves can't bother the little birds that come in to feed, and they can just swing and eat and enjoy their food. Is that not adorable? So I love these trays. I pick them up, a little too shallow to grow in, but you could grow some seeds, I guess, if you want in there. But I use it for bird feeders. And then look around the stationery department, the school department, because a Sharpie is perfect. Take some lids from your food containers, cut them up, and make plant labels. And label your plants and your seeds because you will forget. And this way you have it written down. Now, scissors. That's perfect in the garden to trim maybe your tomatoes or plants. The leaves get yellow. Look for ones that say stainless steel. They have a lot of different types of scissors. So go through them and find the stainless steel ones. And binders. Oh my goodness, paper binders. These are metal. They last forever. And so once you start using them, all you have to do is put them aside and then find them for the next growing season and keep them in a jar or something, because this will go years and years. Where your plastic or your wooden clothespins, they do break apart. But these are fabulous. And here you'll see more scissors hanging on the wall. Keep in mind, they have different types. And try to get something with a red handle so you could see it. But see these? I love these. I've got so many, I'm going to buy more because it holds up my tool. It holds up my shower curtains, a lot of different things in the garden. And again, on the scissors, look for something that's going to be comfortable for you to have in your hands. So you want to make sure it fits nice, and then the red, you can spot it in the garden. I use a lot of scissors around. Perfect for trimming the yellow leaves off of plants, or even if you have a leaf that's really big and the edges have turned brown, you can trim it up, make it look nice. But they last for years in the garden. In red, you'll spot it. Now the cups, the plastic cups. You know how years and years ago I showed you the 2-cup system, and now everybody's doing it, where 1 cup has holes, 1 cup does not. You put it together and you can sit them anywhere in the house because you're not going to have water dripping everywhere. And it also will retain some water on the bottom for your seedlings. Well, they've got the perfect cups. So you get 16 cups for $1.25. That's a really good deal. Yes, you can go to Costco or Walmart. You can pick up those big packages with 100 cups. If you need that many, then of course get the bigger packages. But I like the colors. I'll show you in a few minutes all the different colors they've got. And they do last a long time. I still use them to this day. I use them in different methods, but the 2-cup system is perfect. So you can sit your plants anywhere. Oh, balloons, that's for me. I'm going to do a project, probably to make a water fountain later on in the year, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. But I need to see what sizes they have, and it will be kind of an experiment. It's going to be a lot of fun. So look around because you never know what you're going to find at Dollar Tree. Oh, and the metal buckets, these are adorable. You could put a plastic cup in there, and don't make holes in these. Make holes in your plastic cup. But I do have plants in a lot of these metal little buckets, and they look really attractive. Mardi Gras beads, I put that in my plants. It reflects light, especially if it's sitting on the windowsill. So when the light is coming in, it sparkles on the Mardi Gras beads that are up on top around the plant, and it gives the plant a little more light. Plus it looks cute too, and they last a long time. It's more for looks though. Oh, I use this as a rain hat. I bought one a year ago and I'm still using it. Well, I know we don't get a lot of rain, but when we do, I stick that thing on my head. I did add a piece of elastic underneath so it won't blow off my head. And I go out in the rain so I don't get sopping wet. Works great. Oh, I see another project coming. That is so cute. Okay, I'll have to pick one up and do something later on in the spring or early summer. And then there's the cups too. Now they've got the clear ones. These are a harder plastic. Though they're nice, I will tell you, they can crack easily. Anything like this for the garden, these clear plastic ones, they will crack, even for water fountains. So keep that in mind. They'll hold up for a while, but they crack. Look on the bottom if you can't find them, because I have found they've got these perfect cups. I told you for the 2-cup system, or if you're going to do it a different way. These are gorgeous, and they have them in so many colors, purple and black and blue and green and yellow, and I think they've got pink. I haven't seen so many colors like they've got, so it makes gardening fun. It looks pretty, and then you can just designate your plants in different cups and colors as well if you want. But they definitely have a lot of colors, and I have picked up quite a few of these cups, and I really enjoy growing my seedlings in there for now. Now, remember we do the fountains and we use the USB power bank that you would charge up a phone? This is a good spare light because if you've got 2 power banks and one is all charged up, ready to go, and your lights go off at night, you plug that into the power bank and you've got light. And it will last all night. So keep that in mind. This is a perfect USB light that will go in those power banks. It's basically an emergency light. And yes, I do have one just in case I need it. Now, this is going to be for my dog kennel. I got a tray and these rollers and some black paint, and we're going to paint that 1/4-inch wire when the weather is nice. It's been raining off and on. And I want to paint it black because when it's painted black, you can see through it. Can you imagine? I get the black paint, which I've got now, and now I get a whole roller set for $1.25, and I'm going to have my dog kennel all painted up. I'll be able to see in. Now, this is my favorite thing. These spoons, I'm crazy about them. I ended up buying 4. Gary's got 1 and I've got 3 in case I lose it. I used to use the plastic ones from McDonald's. This is my last one. It's like 30, 40 years old, but these are metal and you can pick up seeds, 1 seed at a time. You know how you pinch seeds and you're trying to drop them in a hole? Well, it's hard when you're pinching them how many you've got. But when you've got the 1 seed sitting on the spoon and then you can make a hole up with the other end and then drop it in, you know you've got 1 seed because you can see it. So it works perfect. And I really have to tell you, this is worth $1.25. Definitely pick one up. I think this is going to be my go-to tool all season long this year. Now, this soil I have not had luck with. I'm going to stick with Miracle-Gro or a better soil like Dr. Earth. I had some problems where they just wouldn't grow. You definitely want to test that soil because if your seeds aren't growing, it may not be your fault. It may be the soil. And there's the baskets again, so look around. They do sell out of these, and I have found later on in the summer they didn't have them anymore. So if you want to get one, think about getting them when they first get them in, because it's not something they seem to stock all year. And I love the idea that you get the basket, and I showed you everything that can fit in there, all those bowls, and the chain. Otherwise, you'll be buying just the chain to attach to something. Now, this is perfect for your hummingbird feeders. It's just the perfect size. You can hang a small hummingbird feeder on there, and I do use them in the garden. $1.25, you can't beat it. You stick it in the ground or a flower pot. This one on the top there is for flags, and they have more flags in different areas. But if you use the one with the long top, it dips, and eventually your hummingbird feeder can slip off, or it will kind of wiggle and fall. So you want the short one for the hummingbird feeder and this one for the flags. But I will tell you, the short one, I can put my umbrellas on that I picked up at Walmart. They just stick on. I've got the whole video on it, and it works perfect. I love it. Now remember, we have to look on all the end caps and all these aisles they set up. Let me pick up that flag that somebody dropped. Now they've got these covers, and oh, they've got hummingbird nectar, but they've got these covers, and I think they go over plants, or you can set up like a little terrarium. There's different things you can set up with those. You could even start seeds and cover them, protect them from birds and insects and stuff. It'd be useful. Now here's the hummingbird feeders that cost $1.25. Same ones that the 99-cent store used to sell. I really like them, and I do use them, even though 3 seats is not enough for my hummingbirds when I have hundreds and thousands. But I change them. I make a little seat on them. Now, if you want to make a seat, I do have some videos on different ways to make the little perch, but you know, I can always make another video. So if you want to request that, request it, and I'll get another one showing you how to do it. Now they've got the nectar here, and it's $1.25. Let me tell you something, just get a bag of white granulated sugar and you will be good to go. It'll be better. Now, these are really cute. These hummingbird feeders come apart. They're only 3 pieces. They're so easy to clean. You get a toothbrush like we talked earlier, and you can scrub the inside and scrub the bottle and everything when you take it apart to clean it. It is a very nice feeder, and you'll see that the hummingbirds use it all the time. If you notice here, I've got a little perch that I made. And you can make it out of different types of wire, and it twists around nice. And look how they'll sit on it and feed. Now, these little ramekins, these little containers, you can make dots or little hummingbird feeders out of them. Now, my hummingbirds use anything I put out. They watch to see what I put out. But they've got to be shallow. You don't want something too deep. Like the containers that are next to it. See how big they are? they're too deep, and the hummingbird would not be able to reach to get much out of them. But these are shallow, and these will work really good. And you could paint the tops red if you wanted to. Sometimes you can find them in red. They're very nice. Now remember, we could go down the kids' aisles too to see what they've got. Look at that, a dry erase board. Now you could write, notes if you were doing seeds or something on there, and then you can wipe it clean when you need to. So that's a good little thing to have. I've actually used something like that. Oh, look, they sell knives for children. Very interesting. Oh, well, at least it glows in the dark, so if somebody's coming after you in the dark, you can see it. Oh my. Now going into the kitchen department. These colanders are wonderful, and you know how I love them. Now, what do I use them for? I wash my ginger and turmeric with them. They're great to keep in the garden. Whatever you're washing outside, you could just use a colander. For $1 or $1.25, you can't beat it. I love them. And now they've got red ones. Last time I got a white one. And you know what? You can compost in place with it too with a plate. But we'll get into that another time. Now, silverware. They make the greatest garden tools, especially when you're dealing with small plants or seedlings. Oh my, I love them. And I keep them around. I can dig up my lettuce and easily move them with the silverware. And you get what? 3 for $1.25. So you can put them all over in different containers. And you will be ready at a moment's notice to use it. Notice that I painted some of my handles red so I can see them. But look, I can transplant my lettuce with them. Don't forget to pick up some of them. Forks are good, knives are good, and of course the spoons are perfect. Again, we're going to get a garden tool for like 35, 40 cents. That is so cheap. It'll last forever. Hold it. I have not seen this here before. I've seen them other places, but here, you know how I make all kinds of fountains for the birds, and I'm always looking for different things to use. This is going to be a blast. I can't wait to make a fountain with these. Silicone straws, they're flexible. They come in 2 different types of colors. I'm not sure which I want. Now this is exciting. I've never seen this. They do carry the other jumbo straws, but look, if you look around, you can find them, but they're much more money. For $1.25, I get 3 and a cleaning brush, and I'm going to use the brush for the hummingbirds. It's flexible. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to make a fountain out of it. I can cut them. I can use them straight. This, I'm in shock. I have never seen it at Dollar Tree before. $1.25. Into my tub it goes. This is going to be fun, and I'm going to get a bunch. I don't know if I'll drink out of it. I don't use straws really, but for all kinds of projects, this for me is the find of the day. Remember, I made a fountain out of the funnels. So thanks for joining me as I went on a garden spree in Dollar Tree. And remember, don't stay in the garden department. There are so many good things throughout the store, even stuff that I missed. Look around, think about your garden, and you'll be able to find a whole lot of stuff. Cheap. Bye-bye, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. So many great finds today. I'm so glad you came along with me because I loved shopping and thinking out of the box. And oh, I missed those spinners. See, you have to look around every corner at Dollar Tree because you never know what's there. I'll catch those next time and I'll see what else there is. But I can't wait for gardening and to make things for the birds. Thanks for coming along with me shopping. That was fun. Bye-bye.